serenade this whole promenade.
About that, the better. Nevertheless, if you fancy more jigging around, you'll have a chance later when Shalamar, Mary Wilson and the Will Stations and Culture Club will be appearing live in the studio. And as tonight's programme seems to be focusing in on fashion and image, we'll be chatting with Boy George and Mari about their radically different styles. Newcastle designer Paul Shriek will be giving us his views on the current fashion scene. That's, of course, if it hasn't changed before we talk to him. The man of mystery and charm, or so he told me, Midge Ure will be dropping in for a chat. And for all those rock fans who doubted our credibility to produce decent music, we'll be seeing the new Whitesnake lineup on video. And I'll be talking to David Coverdale and Cozy Powell. What more could you want?
I'm here in the reception of the Tube, and I'm talking to Paul Shriek, who's a Newcastle designer. What's he going to be telling us later on?
Well, today I've brought along 4 house models who are wearing the collection which will be available from my new shop, which opens tomorrow, the Shriek shop.
That's a discreet plug. And we're also now just about to look at the new altered images. They lost two members during the summer. This is them with their new member, filmed by the Tube. Right, Paul, before we go upstairs, I think that we should have a quick look at some of the people who've dressed up to come and see the Tube. In fact, they may not have dressed up to come and see the Tube. They probably always look like this. Now, this is an outfit to conjure with. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, it's interesting to see pink. I mean, pink's been in all summer. It's like it's interesting if people pick a different colour, like red or something like that. But pink's nice, but, you know, for the autumn I would say it was going out a bit. Would you not?
Going out. Oh, he's very grumpy, isn't he? Do you think that it's hard for you to dress up because you live in Newcastle and people stare quite a lot?
No, I like it.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you like most, being stared at, or do you always look?
Just like being different, you know. Yeah.
Right-ho. Now, this outfit I think I've seen, in fact, in London.
Shriek beige dress, which was out this spring, which is quite good because it's like this winter's colours, grey and black, which is very interesting. It's nice to see like a monotone colour range rather than just bright, you know, vibrant colours.
Do you not like bright colours?
Well, I do, but put in nice different places. They've just been overdone quite a lot recently.
It's terrible for you being talked about. It's like she's not here. Well, this person wearing this. And why did you pick it?
It's nice and warm for winter.
Oh, purely practical reasons we have here. Now, you don't look well at all. We've been very worried about you since we spotted you. As a young gentleman, do you find that you get sort of beaten up or anything?
Very occasionally. It doesn't happen to me very often. Just abuse in the street usually.
Abused in the street. This is probably exactly what you're after. Bit of abuse in the street.
No, it isn't. I don't go looking for it. I don't dress up at all. It's just, I mean, as you can see, cardigans and baggy trousers are not exactly dressing up.
Yeah, but you've got about 2 inches of makeup on.
I like it. I've just got used to it during the past and can't get out of the habit.
Now, I think you look glorious. I love your hat. We've both been jealously looking at it.
Yes. She's really good. I mean, she's got it right for this winter. It's perfect. The colours are just right. She's got enough primary colours. I mean, especially like Christmas colours here with the black and the grey. She looks great.
Well, I think we better move over to the lift. I bet you feel... I feel like Judith Chalmers actually doing Miss World. You know, sort of... And now, the hobbies are raffia work and macrame. And we're going to go straight to the lift, and let's hope that we don't end up on the roof.
Well, of course, few people realise how reputations can be ruined and whole careers can be spoilt. If the lift doesn't get there, it could have ended up on the roof. Luckily, they're here, so we're perfectly okay. Good to see you. I'm just here as a fail-safe in case the lift isn't there. Nice to see you. What do you think of my clothing? I know you're busy. It's wonderful. Absolutely well spotted. Wonderful.
Jules Holland, possibly one of the greatest male dressers in history. A man who's brought fashion several steps behind.
Yes.
Now then,
Slowly.
tell me, what do you think's going to be happening this summer with clothes?
Well, things are heading towards the late 50s with Marilyn Monroe and different things like film stars like that, which is fabulous because it brings back the sweater girl image, the bras and the padded busts and everything, which is pure womanly figures instead of big baggy clothes which have been in for so long.
But don't you think that people who've got figures like ironing boards are going to be a bit worried about all this? They're going to be stuffing socks down their fronts.
Well, why not? I mean, why not pad things out? You pad your shoulders, pad your bust.
Well, you have padded several bits of your anatomy from the looks of things. However, we won't discuss this. We've got three models here who've all... Four. Oh, my goodness, yes, we've got 4 models here who are all wearing outfits from your new collection. Now, would you like to talk us through all these while I try and find my spot to stand on?
All these garments are available in my new shop which opens tomorrow, the Shriek shop. They vary from interesting day wear through to the evening wear collection. Rena's wearing like the monotone black and white, black and grey checky dress, which is sort of like the Shriek fit look, which is, I mean, everybody's into this Jane Fonda. We've done a Shriek fit. The next one is a glamorous evening wear, which is like paper, it's paper and muslin, it's silver, which is glamorous, fabulous. The next one, things are going very, very sloppy, and Andrew's got the big sloppy jumpers, which I've got, you know, retail for this winter, which is a sort of the accessory, sort of like keep fit in a way, but with bright floral clothes will bring out the interesting things for the winter.
So you think this is keep fit? In
Very
what
active.
sense is this keep fit?
Well, you can just sort of strip off and do it in your leotard and your jumper, you know, the big and sloppy.
She better not.
Debbie's wearing the Matador Mac, which is like a full circle. If Debbie wants to stand up and show the Mac off, which is like a massive Matador cape on the bottom. And she's got the new elastic skirt, which pulls all your hips and bulges in, which is really, really tight to give the sweater girl image.
So that one would hold you in? Is it holding you in? You've got nothing to be held.
Holding your 32-inch hip.
Does it ride up a lot?
Not really if it's holding a lot in.
Horrible thing to say. Who are the designers that you most admire? This is something I've been curious about, especially looking at all this because it's so different.
Well, there's no English designers I really like. I like Tao Mugler and Claude Montana from Italy and Paris, which are the leaders in fashion, and Anne-Marie Beretta, who are fabulous. But unfortunately, like London, they seem to trend on what the street wants. You know, my shop, hopefully, we've done a designer collection which you can buy and look amazing, and not necessarily look like, you know, just scraped it together for at home.
Now, this outfit that you said there was the Shriek.
The Jane Fonda.
Yes, the Jane Fonda shrieking. How many people do you think are going to be wearing it? And also, how much would it cost people?
The dress is $17.99. I think it'll be a very successful winter dress because it's knitted jersey, which is very warm, and it's like a good length, and people can feel comfortable in it.
How much do most of your clothes cost, though?
Well, the retail price for the outfits which are selling in the shop, you can buy an outfit for an outfit either for £30 or £40, and that's it. I mean, most of the tops and skirts are below £20 because we don't want to rip people off. We want people to come back and enjoy wearing clothes.
And just briefly, do you think people are more fashion conscious because they're worried about London? Up here, they seem to be much more, they try much harder. Do you think that's a general thing? I
don't think Newcastle really worries about what London does. I mean, Newcastle have got their own fashion trends like Liverpool and different cities like that. We do what we want to do in Newcastle. I'm not particularly bothered what happens in London.
Doing what he wants to do. And now, we're going to go from one fashion victim to another. It's Grace Jones with her wonderful video.
There's a lot of inserts and special effects and things done, but basically the concept came from filming the one-man show, which is what the tour was called.
Yeah.
So we call it the one-man show because of all the... It's a sort of masculine side of me that's really performing when it's filmed, and there are quite a bit of clones. Most of the clones are male.
With the masks?
Yes.
I think they're fantastic,
yes.
It's a shame we don't sell the masks. I think they're great.
Well, maybe one day to, you know, have to do... Can't do everything at one time, but probably in the near future. It's been really a style that's just evolved, that's more using fashion as entertainment, is really what we're doing. And it's theatre also involved, because this is what I really love, the theatre, and I studied acting and all of this, and I just couldn't do a singing career without doing the visuals really in that direction, and fooling the people with a sense of humor. And for example, here you would never guess that I was pregnant in both these shots.
Have a look down here.
I was about 6 months pregnant or something.
And these are incredible. I mean, so these are in fact maternity dresses, and if you said to somebody, here's some maternity dresses, they'd say, oh, I think that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, you would, it's just...
Yeah, well, I had to do a performance in this one. We had a sort of a baby shower party where Debbie Harry was the host and everything.
The other thing is that you're the only person really who could wear these things and make them look
I think so. I think they look, you know, that's what's actually great about, that's what I enjoy, is that I am different and I'm the only one really that can sort of get away with this stuff.
Do you have any plans to go into films at all, or things
well,
other than
I've
music?
gotten, last year I got about 3 offers to do films. Blade Runner was one, which I turned down because Ridley Scott wanted a reply too quickly before I even read the script, and a couple other things. There's something else going on in Hollywood called Flashdance or something. They wanted me to play some strange character. But I haven't found anything as interesting. But there is an interesting offer coming in from Australia, which is supposed to start filming next year, February.
What would that be about?
Well, it's about my relationship with a young white fella who's younger than I am. I'm an African from Somalia, something like that. But it's quite mysterious. I supposedly have some strange connection with dolphins, and there's like an affair between myself, the young man, and the dolphin.
What does Grace Jones do at home? I mean, is there a Grace Jones at home who sits and watches the telly and drinks a cup of coffee?
I drink a little bit of wine, you know, or scotch or something like that. I love watching films on television. I buy a lot of videos myself, classic ones that I think are very, that have a lot to gain. And I have a child. Jean-Paul and myself, we have a child who's quite amusing, and there's a lot to learn from him also. So I spend a bit of time with him, and I love, you know, listening to music, and I go to the gym, and I do shopping. But I spend a lot of time just, those things keep me feeling good.
People come up and bother you if you go shopping and things?
Sure they do, you know, and if I feel in the mood for it, it's okay, you know, I'm nice and pleasant. And if I'm aggravated or something, if I'm in a hurry, then I just simply say I'm in a hurry and I can't talk right now.
Growl at them?
Yeah, I gotta, you know, get out of there. I don't growl at them. Walking down the street, kicking cans, looking at the billboard, the also rams, summing up the people, checking out the race, doing what I'm doing, feeling out of place, walking in the rain. Feeling like a woman, looking like a man, sounding like a no-no, mating when I can, whistling in the darkness, shining in the night, coming to conclusion, life is right, is tight, walking in the rain. Come in all you jesters, enter all you fools. Sit down, no, oh, gagoos. Trip the light, fantastic. Dance the swivel hips. The conclusion, button up your lips, walking in the rain. Walking in the rain. I just like the feeling of life. And living as hard as I can, as in the song "Living My Life," which we did also a video to. I mean, I really mean that. I feel very much like living very hard, very strong, and doing as much as I can. I don't like being quiet for too long. I think being quiet, just enough time to regenerate, not to burn myself out, is important.
Every so often there's a fashion revival when a style from a past period comes round again. Can't wait for the fig leaf to come back. Be a bit nippy, son. You could always change into a thick, fleecy, thermal fur-lined fig leaf for the harsh winter mornings, or down the disco on a Saturday night in a 40s-style gold lame zoot leaf. You see, what happens when people change into different clothes? The personality of the person changes too. It's frightening. They could make a film, a horror movie, The Thing in the Changing Room. A perfectly normal guy, like me, wanders into a clothes shop. Can I help you, sir? Yes, I'd like to try these on, please. In that room there. In the room, something horrible happens. Some startling metamorphosis takes place. A coat hanger clangs noisily to the floor, ba-dang, dang, dang, and the changing room door creaks slowly open. And out it comes. Oh my God, what is it? The customers shriek and run out of the building. The manager comes running down. Don't panic, I know what it is. He's the victim of brand new denim. New denim. Mark my words, Funboy 1. It's not what you wear, it's who's watching you wear it, because every cloud has a satellite in. All together, everybody shout, I can't stand up for standing out. I'm a victim of the Vogue, a fitting room freak, terrorised by a rogue boutique. This could happen to you. I'm the withered proof, the disfigured product of a withered youth.
How many tears do you cry if love should break your heart in two? How many tears will I cry now that I know I'm losing you? I can't stop wanting you, and no matter what you do, you're still a part of me, even though I'm losing you. How many years will go by before my heart begins to melt, waiting and wondering why I never thought our love could end. I try forgetting you, but you're still here on my mind. It would take a miracle, but someday maybe I'll find there'll be
Well, here we are, now in the green room. We're always on the move, and I'm talking to Mary Wilson. That was Dusty Springfield. Did she ever influence you?
Oh yes, very much. I mean, especially for a white singer to have such a soul-y kind of voice, which she did. Yes, she did.
Despite the fact you're actually wearing your curlers at the moment, do you think that her appearance and those sort of singers did influence you a lot? Would you say you were rather a 60s-looking person?
No. No, I don't think I am, because I wear my hair in a beehive, which happens to be a very 80s beehive, I might add. But of course we'll be seeing that later. I mean, my boots, I mean, these are very 80s. But just because I like them. It's not, I don't buy things because of the era. I just buy them because I like them. And I like glamour.
Do you think that it's quite hard for you to maintain your image, though? I mean, like, erecting your hair takes hours and things like that. Who does it all for you?
My hairdresser, Susie, who I have to keep in a good mood, otherwise she might not put it up for me for this evening, you see. So.
How long does it all take you?
About 45 minutes altogether. Yeah.
Right, now, while we're on the subject of images that are hard to maintain, we have Boy George, who has been arguing that he isn't embalmed. Now, do you worry that you'll have to change your image in order to sort of keep people's interest going, or have you always looked like this?
Well, I don't think I have an image anyway. I mean, I just dress up. I'm an eccentric, and that's that. I haven't got an image. I'm not sort of a corny pop star. I mean, I was walking around like this, you know, 5 years ago. Just because I happen to have a record out doesn't mean that I'm, you know, exploiting my image. I'm just naturally beautiful.
Don't forget to say hello to my mum.
Oh, hello, Mary's mum. Hello.
Do you think that if you'd been very plain looking rather than a ravishing beauty, that you might have found it harder to sell your records, though?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you know, if you haven't got a good song, then you don't sell records.
And
I
he's
think
got a lovely voice anyway.
Yeah,
He's got a great voice.
It's all a sort of lot of crap, really, when people say, oh, you know, you've got a good look. You know, I mean, in Europe, people don't know what I look like. They still buy the records. They play it on the radio and they buy it. And that's what it's all about. Good songs at the end of the day.
You were saying that not only did they not know what you looked like, they didn't know what sex you were earlier on.
Yeah, well, I like that, you know. It's quite good.
He's not sure yet, are you?
No, I'm not sure either.
No.
Nor she. She kissed me earlier.
Yeah.
God, this show's a quagmire of filth. Who do you think are the people that dictate what people look like in this country, the stylish people?
Well, in London, I think Adrian Frills. Because, you know, there's a very sort of big dwarf look at the moment, you know, dwarfs. I mean, it's about that big, you know, it's a small man's look. And they wear these big sort of rocks on their heads, you know, a bit like Malcolm McLaren. And I think Adrian Frills is like the nerd of the century. And I think that's the person that influences all the nerds in London.
For those who don't know, Adrian is in fact a music paper writer.
He's a dwarf. No, a dwarf. First and foremost, a dwarf.
Actually, my zip just came undone and my dress is about to come off, which is because this show is about...
Don't worry, everyone
it's about style, yes. Do you have any friends that look very ordinary?
Yeah, Mary's mum's a good friend of mine, and my mother.
Yeah. They often meet at Neasden Sea Scout jumble sales, you know, and
we swap it, you know, swap tips.
Yeah.
We're over on this camera and we're about to see Ultravox. Right, Midge, that was your new video for the song Him. Bit of overacting going on there. You direct them. Now tell me a bit about that.
It's easy. There's a lot of to-do made about how hard it is to make videos, and it's like putting a jigsaw together, really. It's quite simple.
What, don't you find it a bit difficult, though, directing the other members of the band? You were telling me earlier.
No, well, yeah, sometimes, yeah. There's a severe amount of overacting going on. The hard bit's actually trying to direct yourself, trying to stand behind the camera and see what's going on and set up the shot and then jump in and do your bit in front of it. That's a bit weird.
Do you worry a bit that now people are bored with these really over-the-top sort of epic videos, which you in particular have been guilty of?
I'm really bored and over the top, though. I mean, I like videos like that. I think they look they're fun. I mean, it's like living out your fantasies, you know, having a Spitfire in your film, or Oliver Tobias. Both of them are a bit expensive.
It was one of your fantasies, was he, Oliver?
No, the Spitfire was.
Do you think that it's rather difficult for you, in particular, being a lovable and cuddly person in real life, that you have an image that's a bit like Nuremberg Rally?
I don't know. We don't project a particular image. What do you mean?
You
what?
fibber!
No, that's true. It's true. No, the videos tend to. I mean, you're putting across an atmosphere, a feel in the video, and you can't sit and tell jokes and wear a funny nose and things when you're singing Vienna. It just doesn't work.
When you, because you used to be in Slick, wearing the baseball suits.
I did.
And I had your picture on my wall. But do you feel embarrassed when you look back at old photos of yourself? Do you think that having a very extreme image tends to haunt you in the future?
No, it's people make too much of it, really. It's style more than image. I think if you've got a strong sense of style, it doesn't really matter what you're wearing or what anybody thinks of you at the time. I feel more embarrassed for the people that had feathered cut haircut and flared trousers and all that at that time, and I didn't.
Ooh, that put me in my place. Now I've got to get my bit of paper out, because my next question I can't read from where I'm sitting. Oh yes. Do you think that you'll always be in bands, or do you think you'll move on to something else, like directing now?
I'd like to move on. I don't want to still be doing what I'm doing in 10 years' time. I think I'll be too old and decrepit for that.
No, never. We now move on to Jules, looking hunky and stylish.
Well, people who were paying attention would have noticed that Boy George was saying there that he thought What Mattered was a good song. I now have with me the man who's brought you many great acts, and now he's created his own type of records called scratching records. The one and only fabulous Malcolm McLaren, who's sitting down here. Do come and join us, Malcolm. And Malcolm is going to demonstrate for us how these scratching records. Is it out today? Is that right?
Yeah, I think the record's come out today.
Okay, so we're in time. Now, I don't even know what scratching is. Well, I do, because you told me earlier, but viewers don't know what scratching is, so tell us all about it.
Well, let me explain to you that the idea is that you can take your favourite groove from any record you so choose in your own collection, be it a guitar riff or a little melody line from Kraftwerk or James Brown,
Beethoven,
or Keith Richards, or even a Beethoven melody, and find it on a record, right? And it might be 5 or 10 seconds or 20 seconds you like. And with that part, you can then mix that with a Keith Richards riff, or a melody from Dionne Warwick, or a particular James Brown drum beat, and you can start mixing the two together. And all you need is a drum box
to give you a
constant pulse. And then you can take a microphone, and then you can holler over the top and make your own number ones. It's a bit like reconstructing the debris of all your old pop paraphernalia. You know, seizing records from your brother's cupboard, or your father's cupboard, or your own records, and making your own number one. What's exciting about it, sorry to interrupt you, what's exciting about it is the fact that you no longer need to go out and play guitars. You no longer need to go out and buy them. You can choose a friend up the road and you can put two decks together, and with a beatbox you can start making your own records. It's making records out of records, and the term scratching comes from the fact of moving the record backwards and forwards to scratch over. You're splitting up words, scratching over vocals, you know, and generally demoralizing the pop myth, and beginning to find a way of using material yourself and not dealing with pre-packaged pop product And I like that very much. And the idea came to me from watching a group of kids in Harlem in the South Bronx who are actually mixing all kinds of records together and talking, singing or hollering over the top. And then the floor broke loose and kids started to spin on their heads at the same time, or start to do robotic movements, almost letting an electric wave run through their arms and hit the other side of their fingertips.
Yes.
And the whole thing there they term hip-hop. Scratching is part of DJing practice, and breaking is another form of gymnastic dancing, which you're about to see on a video that I made in New York celebrating this record.
And that's exactly what we're going to see immediately. Let's see that video now, which will demonstrate it even better. Now.
Right, that was yet more of Mr. McLaren. Now down to some good, honest rock and roll. I've got David Coverdale and Cozy Powell here with me. Right, David, I hear there have been many rumours flying around that you've had offers to join big-name bands. So why stick with Whitesnake?
Because I'm very fond of the size of the name Whitesnake.
Right, and you're sure it'll work this time?
Oh yeah, it was doing all right before.
Yeah. Did you have much difficulty getting the lineup together?
No, not really. Cozy was like the first one involved. Of course, John was and Mickey have been with me before. The bass player was a problem because we wanted someone with a lot of bottle to play with Mr. Powell when he comes in with the thunderous bass drums et al. And Mel Galley was great. He was going to be in the original Whitesnake lineup anyway. Great singer, very fine guitarist, a great writer. Over to you, Mr. Powell.
Of course. Well, Cozy, you've been about a bit.
Sure.
Was it an ambition of yours to join David, in fact, Whitesnake, or did you just feel as though you'd run out of bands and, well, they were next on the list?
No, I mean, I was going to work with David about 3 or 4 years ago when I was with Rainbow, but I had a sort of commitment to stay with Rainbow at the time. And then when I left Rainbow, David had already got Ian Pace on drums, so I couldn't do it then. And then finally, after I finished playing with Michael Schenker, list goes on, folks. He asked me again. This time I said I'd love to do it. So hopefully this will last a lot longer than the last couple of bands I've been with.
Well, David, I thought that the idea of you forming a new band was to get completely new blood in, you know, to get back the hunger. So why bring back Mickey and John?
Because John never lost the hunger. Mickey did at the end of '81. He's found it again. It's good. It's back to sensibility. I need to work with good musicians who inspire me to work, you know, and I've got a fine collection of players.
Well, now, Cozy, are you going to give us any secrets away as to what you're including in your next solo on the tour? I mean, how can you possibly beat the 1812 and the 633?
I can attempt to blow the hall up, which is what I'm working on at the moment. I've got the explosives guys from the parachute regiment coming along to the gigs, so with a bit of luck, if anybody's still alive at the end of this show, it should be interesting. But you might be seeing that soon on the show, I think. So.
Yeah, and you guys have got plans to crack the States then in the new year?
Take it by the short and curlies, aye.
Yeah. Well, and of course, the new single, Here I Go Again, that seems to be quite emotional, you know, the soldier of fortune, the loner. Oh, yeah. Is there any truth behind it, perhaps?
Oh, it's all true. It's all true. There's no bull in it. And this is also the first time you're going to see the new band anywhere in the world.
Cool. Yeah, so, I mean, is it actually based on experiences, your experiences, this song?
Yeah. It's self-explanatory if you read the words.
OK, well, it's nice talking to you both, and now you'll all have a chance to see the new video.
An enjoyable video, wasn't it? And for all you Daily Mirror readers, and I believe the readership in the London area alone is at least 7, you will have seen this lovely piece about X, who we filmed whilst we were in America. And we're going to have a very an interesting film that our crew made while watching in London. Hello, crew. And we made this video at enormous expense, and they said that we were going to show it. So let's go over and have a very quick look at that, shall we?
Someone new.
Haha, ready as always. And of course, if you read the television page, you would have also noticed that Scritti, Politti and Haircut 100 were appearing. This was, of course, completely wrong. We got it wrong. Unfortunately, for different reasons, they couldn't be here. Great shame. Instead, outside, there are 4 limousines waiting, 5 private jets waiting to rush the next band to Chippenham, where they're playing just this evening. How many thousands of miles is that, for Christ's sake? Anyway, let's have a huge hand for a wonderful band, Shalamar!
Come on now. There it is. There it is. What took us so long to find each other, baby? There it is. There it is. This time I'm not alone. Thought I knew the answer to why people fall in love. Then I found I knew nothing about it. Till I met the girl, I thought that I had enough. Now I'm sure I've always been without it. And it feels so good to do when I'm together. Ooh, girl, I never felt the way for love so strong. And this time I know we're gonna make it better. Our heart is the key that opens up the door. Don't have to say no more. There it is. There it is. What took us so long to find each other, baby? There it is. There it is. This time I'm not wrong. In the sea of love we set ourselves when waters were rough. Two in search of love with no direction. Fish were biting at the time, but catching wasn't enough. We couldn't get the sport of our affection. And who would dream that you and I would come together? Ooh, girl, I never felt the way for love so strong. And this love I never felt to need another. I trusted like a lighthouse guides a ship to land. I found it when you touched my hand. Ooh, there it is. To find a sweet, sweet love. There it is. Ooh, there it is. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's about time. Come on. For love to find its way back home. All right. Put your hands together, y'all. Oh, in your mind. Now that we found love, we've got to carry on. Yeah. Woo. Hey. Ooh. Baby. Oh, baby. This time I'm not wrong. Got a love that's so strong. Ooh. go from there.
Here, look what I've got. Look. Something to read. A publication for the feminine breed. A periodical pushing sun sour creed. Made especially for she. For less than 30p. Hey, ladies, you don't look well. It was Eve turning green. She'd just been a-reading the Woman's Magazine. There's a gorgeous lips competition. Compete for the winner's purse. A 4-page pull-out on skincare. Remove unsightly hair and hidden dirt. There's a perfume survey. Don't you want to smell nice for that big, fat, stinking gorilla in your life? Learn the art of speed bead crochet. See all the latest fashions. There's a spate of highly complicated winter knitting patterns. A short soppy story by Davinia Schmaltz. A hospital romance called The Angina Waltz. So whilst the kids are in the creche, stimulate the brain and read how Wendy Craig copes with kids' career and migraine. During your lunch hour, girls, flick through the pages. See how Barbara Cartland dyes her wig and lies about her age. There's a quiz to determine whether you're the ideal mother. Advice on how to stop your man from falling for another. You know flat pastry will cause him to disparage, and tasteless gravy can really wreck a marriage, so never underestimate hubby's precious appetite. Use our recipes and be happy tonight. And while he gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you must go in search of the hourglass figure. Slimming expert Ethel Pipe Cleaner says there's nothing so obscene as a woman who oozes out of her bikini. See what I mean? You get all this crap and more in your woman's magazine. Next week, an exclusive interview with Lady Di's gynecologist. It's the inside story. Identify with the girl next door who married into power and glory. Yes, it's all in the next edition of this ropey rag that pampers to tradition. The tradition being keep her gagged. Something to read. A publication for the feminine breed, a periodical pushing some sour creed. Hey lady, lady, you don't look well. It was Eve turning green. I guess she'd been reading the woman's magazine. Ba-doom, 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 boom, boom.
I bet you're wondering who's on next. Oh, well, maybe not. What more can I say? Beehives to the ready, it's Mary Wilson and the Wilsations.
You say you've forgotten me, but my love
don't you? Right, okay, let's get dancing to the end of the affair.
Everywhere I turn, I watch these vivid visions of my love. Baby, they burn my eyes. I wipe away each tear. I hope and pray that you are gonna tell her you're missing your baby. Why don't you tell her right from the start? You miss her.
Is our latest single. Beware, boyfriend.